Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So this is a results catch-up video. Start off the Premier League, but we've got loads of leagues to get through. I'll pause on a couple and look at them in more detail, but I haven't got enough time to do all of them in such large detail. But this is an ASMR video, so if you're new to the channel, I'm talking quietly because it's meant to help you relax and fall asleep, but still be about something interesting, and we all love football, don't we? That's why you click on the video, right? Okay, Manchester City are top of the Premier League, 3 wins out of 3. I'm not sure who's going to be able to stop them, if I'm honest. Let's look at the match results from the previous match day. So on Friday we saw Chelsea finally pick up a win against New Boys Luton 3-0. The very exciting start for the season under Postecoglou for Tottenham. They beat Bournemouth 2-0 away from home. Much better attacking football this year from Spurs. Arsenal managed to draw at home with Fulham. However, I think Fulham were winning, weren't they? For some time, and yeah, Arsenal have always got a bit of a bad result in them, haven't they? Oh no, they weren't winning, but they got an 87th minute equaliser from the brilliant Portuguese Palhinha. Brentford let their brilliant start slip a little to the Crystal Palace that I'm starting to note is getting some okay results at the beginning of the season, 1-1. Everton lost at home to Wolves. That's a bit of a shocker. Wolves had a terrible start of the season, and Everton's is even worse. I cursed them by saying that their squad should get them into Europe tonight. Nottingham Forest were winning like 2-0, I think, at one point in Old Trafford, in front of 73,500, 2 minutes and 4 minutes, and then Man United decided to actually wake up this season and score 3. So they won 3-2, and if you're happy with Spurs' start of the season, if you're a West Ham fan, you must be overjoyed in the Champions League spots and beat Brighton in Brighton. Like, that is a shocker. 3-1. Goal scorers were, let's have a look, 31,000 in the stadium. Ward-Prowse, what a purchase he's going to be. Bowen and Michail Antonio gross there for Brighton. And then on Sunday, Burnley lost at home to Aston Villa, who've started a lot better after that opening loss to Newcastle 3-1. Mini scare from Sheffield United, but Man City has it in hand, and then Newcastle losing, but they've had a really difficult start with Manchester City and Liverpool. They were winning with Gordon and his goal for the club, but Nunez scored twice in the 81st and 93rd minute to win it. It's not like Liverpool to score a late goal to beat Newcastle, is it, Newcastle fans? Okay, I've reordered them a little bit, so we'll go Serie A next. Have a quick look at the table. I think there's only 2 games in though. And yeah, Roma, my team in Serie A is having an abysmal start to the campaign, so that's great. And AC Milan, who I predict to be champions, have started pretty well. They've got Roma next, so Roma might actually lose 3 out of 3, which will be, oh no, they've drawn 1. So that's great. Lazio, however, down in 18th after qualifying for the Champions League next year. They've got Napoli next, so it could be worse, I guess. Napoli second, Inter third in this early stage, but Verona, who did beat Roma at the weekend, having gone from relegation qualifier last year up to Champions League spot. Okay, the matches then were as follows. Saturday we saw Frosinone surprisingly beat Atalanta. They are the newly qualified, the newly promoted team in this division, 2-1. Monza beat Empoli 2-0. That's what I talked about earlier. Verona beating Roma 2-1. Even though Pellegrini and Dybala were back in the team. Milan hammering Torino 4-1. Bologna, who are a couple of people's surprise package this season, they could get a European spot, managed to get a credible draw in away to Juve. In fact, Ferguson, the Scotsman, scored for Bologna, and Vlahovic had to equalise in the 80th minute in order to get anything out of that game. Fiorentina drew with Lecce 2-2. Lazio lost at home to Genoa 1-0. And Napoli beat Sassuolo, the champions there. Napoli 2-0. Salernitana have that draw with Udinese there 1-1. And Cagliari, new boys in the division, lost at home to Inter 2-0. Okay, next up, Spanish La Liga. The curious story for me in La Liga at the moment is Real Madrid don't have a striker. And Vinny Jr. has just got an injury. But because Bellingham from midfield is scoring so many goals, he's now broken their record. He scored in his first 3 games for Madrid. They're actually sitting top of the table, and they've said they're not going to get a striker, which I find rather bizarre. You can't guarantee a midfielder is going to score your goals, but I suppose Benzema didn't score many goals last year either. But it's not very ambitious for a side trying to win the Champions League. Do they think they're going to get Mbappe? What's the story there? Barcelona surprisingly down in 4th. My Athletic Club up in 5th after a good start. Valencia much better this season compared to last season, up in 7th. But Sevilla starting the season like they started the last year's season before that brilliant run. 3 losses out of 3. Oh dear. Let's have a look at their matches then, shall we? So on Friday, we saw Las Palmas draw with Real Sociedad. Celta Vigo lost at home to Real Madrid 1-0. Bellingham with that goal. Cádiz drew at home to Almería 1-1. Granada beat Mallorca at home 3-2. Sevilla lost at home to high-flying Girona 2-1. Villarreal have had a tough start of the season. They lost at home to Barcelona 4-3. Valencia losing their first game of the season there at home to Osasuna. My Athletic Club from Bilbao beating Real Betis 4-2 at home. Who scored the goals again? So, lots of goals this week. Pesca, 2 penalties, Guruseta and Gomez, cancelling out Jose and Isco's goals for Real Betis. And then Getafe beating Alaves 1-0, and that massive result in the Madrid derby, Rayo Vallecano 0, Atletico Madrid 7. Let's have a quick look at who scored those goals then. They were scored by Griezmann, Depay, Molina. Morata's got 2, Correa and Llorente. Okay, we've flown over briefly to Saudi Arabia. Al-Ittihad are top, that's Benzema's team. Al-Ahli, which is Bobby Firmino's team, is 2nd, and Neymar's Al-Hilal are 3rd. And after a tough start, Ronaldo's and Nasser are moving up the table. Al-Ittifaq are the side managed by Steven Gerrard. They're in 5th. They lost to Al-Hilal on the weekend. Let's have a look at the results. Well, I say on the weekend. The matches are played on random days of the week. So Friday is their weekend. So Al-Fayha drew at home to Al-Hazim 0-0, and Nasser scored 5 against Al-Fateh. Sadio Mane got a couple, if I remember off the top of my head. Mane scored 2, Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. Bearing in mind that they lost their first 2 games, it's not an easy division. I don't know what happened to Al Fateh on the day. Al-Shabaab drew with Damak 1-1. Al Tawun's had a good start of the season. They beat Abha Club 1-0. Abha then beat Feyha, which is the team in the Champions League this year for winning the cup. I'm a bit worried how badly they're going to do. 2-1. Al Hilal beat Al Ittifaq 2-0. Al Rayed beat Al Riyadh 3-0. And Benzema's Al Ittihad won in a semi-local derby 3-0. Goals from Mourinho, Jota and Coronado. The big news coming out of the camp, I don't know how much of a sort of paper story it is and whether it's true. The manager, Espirito Santo, former Spurs and Wolves manager, never wanted Benzema and doesn't think that he fits into his playing style. So there's rumours coming out of the camp that he might actually not stick around for very long because he's not going to get played, and he's clearly not playing that well either. So that's a bit of a bizarre one we'll keep an eye on. Al Akhdud lost at home to Atawun 1-0. Damak drawing with Al Fateh 2-2. Al Ahly beating Al Atay 2-0. Al Khalij drawing with Al Hazem 1-0, and Al Nasser beating Al Shabab 4-0. Couple from that man again, Ronaldo, 2 goals, both penalties. Mane scored another, and Ghanam, just to make sure they beat their local rivals in Riyadh. 9 out of 9.5 for Ronaldo. He actually did score another goal, but it was VAR cancelled it. Can't remember why. If he was offside or not, I'm not sure. So yeah, he's up and running at least. Okay, back in Europe then, let's go to the Bundesliga in Germany. Union Berlin carrying on where they left off last season, they are top. We also see Bayern and Bayer Leverkusen in the top there, with Wolfsburg, Dortmund down in 6th. There's only 2 games. Werder Bremen, very slow start from them, bottom of the table. Let's have a look at the matches then. So Saturday, Cologne, sorry, let me just double check. No, that was last week, I thought it was. Oh no, that's right. Focus. Cologne lost at home to Wolfsburg 2-1. Heidenheim lost at home to Hoffenheim 3-2. Freiburg beat Werder Bremen 1-0. Darmstadt lost at home 4-1 to Union Berlin. Dortmund could only get a 1-1 draw away to Bochum. And Gladbach lost at home 3-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. I'm predicting a big year for them. Mainz and Frankfurt, basically the other side of the river from one another. 1-1 draw. Very short journey for each team to travel in that derby. And then Bayern Munich beat Augsburg 3-1. Let's have a quick look who the goal scorers were in that match. They were Udo Kai with an own goal. Kane scored a penalty and then scored again. So he has started really, really well for his new team. Okay, just popping next door to France then. Monaco's good start to the season has only impounded the fact that Paris Saint-Germain have had a slow start to the season. They're unbeaten, but they drew their first 2 matches. Marseille are in 2nd and Reims actually are in 3rd, carrying on from their excellent end to last season. Down the bottom, Lyon, surprisingly, as well as Lens, who are in the Champions League, only lost the title by 1 point last year. Also draw specialists. Nice, 3 games, 3 draws. Let's have a look at those then in detail. So, oh, that's Sunday. Was there anyone on Saturday? Just double check. Yeah, so Friday we saw Nantes draw 3-3 with Monaco. Marseille beat Brest 2-0, and Paris Saint-Germain, who I think lost in that fixture to Lens last year, winning 3-1. And then on the Sunday, Rennes drawing with Le Havre 2-2. Metz beating Clermont 1-0. Montpellier losing at home to Reims 3-1. Strasbourg beating Toulouse 2-0. Lorient beating Lille 4-1. And Nice and Lyon drawing 0-0. Okay, I'm not going to go through every single league because this video then takes me like an hour, but I'm going to go through as many as I can. I might skip a couple this time though, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Okay, let's pop over to the Eredivisie. We'll see the table in just a moment. Sparta Rotterdam are actually top. 3 games in, obviously, but still quite impressive. Alkmaar second and Twente third. Who's down the bottom? Oh no, Utrecht. Lovely place. Okay, matches. So, that's Sunday. Sunday we saw Zwolle beat Utrecht 1-0. Feyenoord beat Almere 6-1. And Heerenveen lost at home to Sparta Rotterdam 3-1. Let's see those goal scorers from Feyenoord. Champions League this year for Feyenoord. Jimenez scored 2, including 1 penalty. Paixão, Geertruide, Wiever and Timber. Let's see Saturday's matches. Saturday we saw Nijmegen beat Waalwijk 3-0 and Excelsior draw with Fortuna Sittard 2-2. It's interesting. When did Ajax play then? They had a week off from the looks of it. Maybe there was a cup match or something. Okay, so I've slightly moved around the league, so if you're used to the order I do them in, I've changed it. We're going to Belgium next. And then we're going to Turkey. It's the very exciting Belgian league. I do enjoy this league. Anderlecht have crawled their way to the top after a very slow start with that opening day loss. I did say at the time that I thought they were going to come back. Club Brugge, Gent, but Cas Eupen at the top there. Gilloise in 5th. Antwerp champions are actually in 7th, but it's very early days, so don't worry. Surprisingly, Standard Liège down in 13th. Okay, Sunday's matches. Bruges against Genk was cancelled. Sint-Truiden lost at home to Cercle Bruges 2-0. Anderlecht beat Sporting Charleroi 2-1. And on Saturday, Westerlo lost at home to Mechelen 3-2. Cas Eupen beat Leuven 3-1. And Kortrijk drew with Stade Liège 1-1. Okay, let's go to Turkey. And we'll have a quick look at the table before we look at the matches. They're very slow. It has actually sped up. I've deleted loads of apps and the cache and everything. Fenerbahce's good start gives them first place. Galatasaray down in 8th, but only 2 matches in, so. Okay, those matches took place last weekend, and they were as follows. Friday, Konyaspor beating Gaziantep 2-0. On Saturday, Kasım Pasha drawing with Pendikspor, the new boys 1-1. Trabzonspor losing at home to Rizespor 3-2. Galatasaray's game was called off against Istanbulspor. Sivasspor drawing with Antalyaspor 1-1. And then we had Fatih Karagümrük drawing with Ankaragücü 1-1. Then Kayserispor beat Samsunspor 2-1. Alanyaspor drawing with Hatayspor 0-0. And Fenerbahce was also called off, as was Besiktas. Was something going on in the capital, in Istanbul? Why were all the Istanbul games called off? Let me know in the comments section. Hope everything's okay. And now we go to Portugal. Okay, we'll speed things up a bit. On Friday, Estrela da Amadora beat Estoril 2-1. Arouca drew at home with Portimonense 1-1. Farense beat Chaves 5-0. Gil Vicente lost at home 3-2 to Benfica. And that was on the Saturday, so on the Sunday, Boa Vista drew at home to Casabia. Vitória won at home to Vizela 2-0. Sporting started with a win over Famalicão 1-0. And on Monday, Porto won away in Rio Ave 2-1. The table, Vitória de Guimarães at the top. Porto second, Sporting third, Boa Vista fourth. Benfica has a loss already, so they are actually down in fifth, quite surprisingly. Okay, should we look at Denmark? Denmark are a couple of matches in, so it's worth looking at their table. 6 matches. Nordsjælland are top, drawing on points with København. Brøndby are in third and Aarhus are in fourth. Okay, that's Monday's match, which is Brøndby winning away to Vejle 1-0. And then on Friday we saw Randers beating Viborg 1-0. København lost at home to Silkeborg 3-1. That's a big result. We'll have a look at that in a second. Aarhus won at home to Lyngby 1-0. Odense beating, I can't say this word, Vidar 5-1. And Nordsjælland beating Midtjylland 3-0. Who scored the goals for Silkeborg? As I'm recording this, Copenhagen have got their last match to try and make it into the group stage of the Champions League. Yeah, good luck to them. Bargi scored early on, but Madsen, Lin and McCowett scored for Silkeborg. Did most of the best players out? Not all of them, though. You can see Larsson, Falk, Meling, Cornelius. Okay. The Scottish Premier League is our next one to look at. So we tried looking at it last week, but there were lots of games that didn't go on. Celtic atop, St Mirren a second, Motherwell in third and Rangers in fourth. Okay, the results on Saturday were Rangers won away from home 2-0 against Ross County. Celtic drew at home to St Johnstone, big result for them. Hibs lost at home to Livingston 3-2. Motherwell beat Killie 2-1. Dundee FC beating Hearts 1-0. Some shocks this weekend. And St Mirren drawing with Aberdeen 2-2. Wow. Okay. Russian Premier League next. Take a look at the table first, because there are a couple of games in. Krasnodar, who I said would come third and have a very good season, are actually top, unbeaten. They got my team Spartak next. Zenit are in second. Ural are in third. Wow. And Krylia Sovetov in fourth. My lovely Spartak down in seventh. Not so happy about that. Not having a great season. Okay, on Saturday Zenit beat Ural 4-0. Rubin drew with Dynamo Moskva 2-2. Spartak drew at home to Akhmat on the weekend 0-0. Nizhny Novgorod beating Rostov 1-0. Krylia Sovetov beating New Boys Baltika 2-1. Sochi losing at home to Lokomotiv Moskva 1-0. Okay, I'm gonna skip a couple, I think. I got Poland. We'll have a look at Poland. I'll probably do some of the smaller leagues that you've asked for, like Czech Republic, Ireland, and a couple of those ones once every 2 weeks. So Jagiellonia, Białystok are top. Legia second, Lubin third. Kraków, Częstochowa down in 12th, they are the current champions. And they also have a big match tonight. I think they're against Copenhagen actually, so good luck to them as well. And the match is Cracovia, oh hang on, to get the right dates. Okay, so Friday, Stal Mielec beat Radiomak 2-0. Vidzu Łódź losing at home to Slask Wrocław 2-0. Wrocław. Warta Poznań drawing at home to Cracovia 0-0. Puszcza winning against Łódź 2-1. Gliwice drawing with Chorzów 0-0. Kielce beating Lubin 2-0. Białystok hammering Zabrze 4-1. Okay, quick look at Sweden then. Elfsborg are still top, but Malmö only 3 points away now. Häcken, current champions, 4 points away. AIK down the bottom. That's unbelievable. Okay, let's have a look at some of the most recent matches. So, and then we've got Brommapojkarna losing at home to Kalmar 3-2. Värnamo drawing at home to Halmstads 0-0. Mjällby losing at home to Hammarby 3-0. Djurgården winning big against Degerfors 4-1. Göteborg beating Häcken in the Gothenburg derby 4-2. AIK beating Varberg 3-0. Elfsborg beating Norrköping 3-2. And Sirius losing at home to Malmö 3-1. Okay, I hope you forgive me. I'm going to jump the Czech, Swiss, Austrian, Irish, Northern Irish and Welsh leagues this week. And we're going to look at the Championship. My team, Swansea, not having a good start to the season. Nearly made it up by doing well in the Cup last night, but then lost in injury time, so that was great. Okay, let's have a look at the table then, which does have a little bit of a surprise towards the top, if I remember correctly. Leicester and Norwich, Birmingham, Southampton, Preston and Ipswich. Only 4 games in though, but yeah, interesting to see Leeds down in 13th. Swansea down in 20th, not good at all. Middlesbrough in 22nd, so it could be worse. Let's have a look at those matches then. If I can bear to watch. Sunday's match was Watford losing at home to Blackburn 1-0. And on Saturday we saw Birmingham beat Plymouth 2-1. Cardiff picking up their first win of the season. Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. Coventry and Sunderland 0-0. Both teams in the playoffs last season, weren't they? It was Coventry. Sunderland definitely was. Huddersfield losing at home to Norwich 4-0. Ipswich losing to Leeds 4-3. I'll take a look at that one in greater detail, I think, because the Leeds are one of my second favourite teams this year, the number of Welshmen they have. Rutter, Nonto, Piro, Piroe, and Sinisterra. Can't believe you got Piroe. And he's already scored a few. He's going to score so many goals. Ampadu, wonderful. Shame to see you left out. Rodon played, but he had a very bad game. Did he score an own goal? Yeah, he did. But he still won, so it was okay. Did... Oh, interesting. Okay. Who else? Millwall beating Stoke 1-0. Preston beating Swansea 2-1. Rotherham losing home to Leicester 2-1. Southampton beating Queen's Park 2-1. And West Brom beating Middlesbrough, who've had a bad start to the season, 4-2. Okay, I'll skip League One. Let's have a look at the MLS. Okay, Cincinnati top of the Eastern with Philly in second still. St. Louis and Los Angeles still the top of their Western Division. Let's have a look at some of the results then, shall we? Okay, these were Thursday's matches. Atlanta beating Nashville 4-0. Montreal beating New England 1-0. Charlotte beating Los Angeles 2-1. Columbus Crew beating Toronto 2-0. DC losing at home to Philly 3-1. Cincinnati beating New York City 3-0. New York Red Bulls losing at home to Inter Miami 2-0. Did he score by any chance? He always scores, doesn't he? Yes, 89th minute, Gomez and Messi, of course. Messi scored. Then Orlando beating St. Louis 2-1. Dallas beating Austin 1-0. Sporting Kansas beating San Jose 3-0. Real Salt Lake losing at home to Houston 3-0. LA Galaxy finally picking up a win to Chicago 3-0. Portland losing at home to Vancouver 3-2. Is there a little bit of a derby there? Just over the border from one another. And Minnesota drawing with... Oh no, Seattle. I was thinking of not Portland, sorry. Minnesota drawing with Seattle 1-1. Who scored in that match? Vancouver, one of my favourite teams based on their amazing stadium. Gold with 2 goals in white against Mora and Ferreira. Right. Skipping Mexico and Canada. We're just going to do Brazil and Argentina today. Okay, the table still looking good for Botafogo. They are top, Palmeiras second, Flamengo dropping to 4th now, and Grêmio, who played a game fewer, is actually moving up into 3rd. My team, Atlético Minas Gerais, in 9th. Vasco da Gama Santos still down there. Wow, shocking. Let's have a look at the most recent matches then, shall we? Okay. Saturday, Flamengo could only draw with Internacional, 0-0. Corinthians drawing with Goiás, 1-1. Red Bull beating Cuiabá 2-0. America got a very big win against Sao Paulo. Atlético beating Santos 2-0, doesn't help them. Botafogo beating Bahia 3-0. Paranaense drawing with Fluminense 2-2. Fortaleza beating Coritiba 3-1. Palmeiras not helping Vasco da Gama with a 1-0 win. And Grêmio beating Cruzeiro 3-0. Oops. Let's then take a look lastly at La Liga Profesional in Argentina. And at the top we've still got River Plate by a clear mile, Talleres in second, San Lorenzo in third, Boca down in 7th, Racing in 12th, Newell's in 14th, Independiente. Have they just got Carlos Tevez as their manager? Someone tell me that recently in a comment. Okay, matches, most recent matches then. And they were on Sunday. We had a couple. Arsenal Sarandí 2-0 winners over Colón. Lanús beating Barraca Central 2-0. Gimnasia drawing at home to Club Platense. Huracán winning against Sarsfield 1-0. Godoy Cruz beating Instituto 4-2. And Friday we saw Argentinos Juniors lose at home to Estudiantes 3-2. Unión beating Defensa y Justicia 2-0. Belgrano and Rosario Central 0-0. Newell's Old Boys, Talleres 1-1. River Plate beating Racing 2-1. On Sunday, Central Córdoba de Santiago losing at home to Atlético Tucumán. Sarmiento drew with Banfield. Independiente lost at home to Boca Juniors. And Tigre won at home to San Lorenzo. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Apologies if I missed out your league, I'll include it next week. And give me a like, give me a comment, tell me how the matches went on the weekend. Did you go? Were there any spectacular goals, anything I should know about? And yeah, we will do a video very soon on the transfer window as it comes to a close in Europe. And we got that to look forward to. And of course, Champions League starting up very, very soon. I'll do a video and start off our new Champions League prediction tables. Okay, take care, see you soon.